And welcome in to Summers Gymnasium men's basketball action coming at you with the visiting University of Pikeville Bears in town. I am joined for the men's game after a solo women's broadcast by Jordan Day. Jordan, not a rookie to the broadcast game as he took over soccer. Done a little bit of baseball throughout the years. Jordan, what's up, buddy?
Hey, good to be here, man. I'm excited. First basketball game of my career, so I'm pumped to be with you and excited for a good matchup here with Pikeville.
Well, you're jumping into a good one, as you said. Pikeville, the preseason #1 in the AAC. As you see the tip ball there by Regal Moore. The preseason #1 in the AAC. Lions going to have their hands full after picking up their first conference win versus the Bulldogs on, I believe that was Tuesday night. And Warts gets his shoe tied. We are ready to go. Bunch with the ball. He's been the leading man for Pikeville. They work it around to the post. Looney working on Baher. The two bigs banging, going at it. Looney gets the best of Baher and starts the scoring off for Pikeville.
Yeah, he hit Josh with a little bit of his signature hook there.
Yeah. Mano y mano. I'm sure we'll be watching those two all day. Looney, a new addition to this Pikeville roster, but a welcome one. He's been one of their best players. Gales all the way, can't finish, left hand. Pikeville looking to push, as they'll do so often, all the way from Keenan Cutlip. The way his name is written is throwing me off.
That's true.
To say Keenan Cutlip gets the 2-point bucket. Baher right back at Looney. And I think we found our matchup to watch, Jordan.
That's right, absolutely. Well, Josh is kind of a jack of all trades for us. I know in the games I've seen he can do a little bit of everything, brings the ball up sometimes. Really good with the ball for a post guy, kind of a super skilled player, and he makes up for, I'm going to say lack of athleticism, but it's not a knock on him. He's so skilled with the ball, which is something you don't see, kind of like that stretch 4, stretch 5 type guy.
That a tough move and an even tougher finish by L.A. Walker. Pikeville has scored on all 3 of their offensive possessions so far. Lions looking to match. 5th-year Ian Johnson finds the twine, top of the key. And they come right back at Pikeville. Draw within 1.
You'd have to think we're going to have to shoot well from behind the arc to stay with them. You see, free ball there from, who was that? That was Bunch. That's their best player, we said, coming in.
Yeah.
But you got to think the Lions are going to have to stay hot from behind the arc. It looks like as we get Josh, big-time bucket.
Yeah.
There we go.
Baher will pull one. Not known to do that, but he did add the ability to even take those in games over the offseason. And when you're playing a preseason #1, a team with talent everywhere, you kind of need stuff like that to happen, Jordan. You need some stuff to go your way that ordinarily you wouldn't see every other game, as Keenan Cutlip comes right back with a 3-pointer. Cutlip last year was a very spot minutes guy. He would get minutes here and there. Johnson misses the layup, but it looks like he's kind of filled into a bigger role. He looks quite a bit bigger than last year. Moore going to take on Bunch. Bunch has insane length. It doesn't matter. Moore gets it over him with the floater hung in the air.
He's got great length on the mullet, too. It's a good hairstyle.
I figured you being a baseball guy, you might like that.
Yeah, that is the that's in the back in these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could grow it, but the straight hair deems that it's not to be for me. Moore pulls from deep 3-point range, rims in and out. Would have been a big bucket, as it feels like Pikeville has not missed on the offensive end yet.
They just look like they have a ton of options.
Yep.
Everybody can take it to the rack. A lot of athleticism, a lot of quickness.
Yep.
So it looks like it's going to be more than just trying to shut down one guy. It's going to have to be a team effort for the Lions here tonight to be able to hang with them. And we know that going in with them being the #1 seed in the league preseason.
Excellent play there from Looney. Moore trying to thread the needle. Looney came over and undercut the pass. Walker pull-up jump shot over Baher. It's good. Free throw line J. Josh telling Coach Rakowski that's on him on the screen coverage. And with everybody on this Pikeville team being able to shoot off screens, you think that we'll probably see that adjusted as the game goes on from the Lions. Gales, quick three-pointer on the other end, just short. Warwick drives the lane, kicks it out to Cutlip, gets the friendly roll. Normally only see that for the home team, but
right.
That very kind for Cutlip. He's got 8 quick points. They're looking for Ian Johnson, the 5th year. Started us off with the three-pointer. That time commits a turnover. Pikeville is running. Cutlip swings at one more bunch. Another one for Walker. L.A. Walker cans the triple. Don Rakowski's seen enough. Pikeville already up double digits, 20-10. We got 14:49. Jordan and I are going to step away for the moment and be right back here on Bryan Lions Live. And welcome back in. Pikeville, an offensive explosion, 20 points in about 5 minutes, Jordan. That's a lot. That's a lot to handle for any team.
I thought it was a pretty good start for us, 12-10, and then all of a sudden it's 8-0 run, and Coach Rakowski's getting timeout to try to keep it from at least manageable.
Yeah, and it's been routine step-in three-pointers for Pikeville so far. They've done well inside. Bryan going to have to pick it up on the defensive end. Ian Johnson off the window, no good. Just rolls out. He'll go for the backcourt steal, won't get it. One more, a new face in the game. Number 10, Tyler Best. He checked in for Looney. He'll drive the lane. Looks like he might have got away with a travel there. Walker for three. That one finally no good. Pikeville finally missing a three-pointer.
I feel like it's the first shot they've missed.
Yeah.
Got to have an answer here. It's going to be one of those games where you almost have to score, or feel like you have to score every time down the court to be able to hang with a team with an offensive prowess like Pikeville.
And if that does happen, that is a crowd-pleasing sight. Baher with the hook. We saw Looney go to it earlier. Baher comes at Bunch and knocks down the double. Right now, this Pikeville offense is causing a lot of switches for Bryan, and definitely not something you want to do against a team that outlinks you and kind of out-athleticisms you at every position. Bunch just big-manning Trey Morrow. And there you see Bunch is a former Division I player out of, I believe, Marshall University. You see the difference in bodies between him and Morrow there.
Yeah, just his length and then also the ability to move and back Trey down there in that spot. You got to think that's going to be something that Pikeville's trying to do, is isolate him just with the athleticism that he's going to have in matchups and get him the ball, especially down there in the paint.
Some substitutions. Number 11, David Robinson, sharing a name with a famed NBA player. And number 20, Jalen Ridgden, checked in for Warwick's and Walker. Trey Morrow, deep contested three, no good. Clear DA.
Good board.
Who else gets his hands on a lot of those? DA receives the ball from Baher, looks for the screen for a moment, finally gets it into him. Looks like Bryan is going to have to get something up. Gales, the contact, another one just rolls out. Feels like we've had two or three of those.
I was going to say 3 or 4. We've got to have those drop. We need that to be able to drop in there. And that hometown roll that we haven't got yet, and it seems like Pikeville's got. We need those to go our way.
Well, I know you don't know this. A lot of people don't know this. Last night, that rim down there that Pikeville's shooting on broke as Gales touches every part of the rim. Another rim out, but that one broke. So our lovely staff fixing that early this morning. So maybe some new rim stuff at play down there.
Yep, have to get accustomed to that one.
Gales buried the second free throw. Cal Drake getting ready to check in for the Lions. Pretty nice defense being applied by Bryan right here. They've kind of gone to nobody is allowed to catch the ball, which is pretty wise if you've seen the offensive results for Pikeville so far. Yeah, that's going to be an out of bounds. Probably could have been called a travel as Coach Don Rakowski was signaling.
The Lions' best defensive possession of the game there. And you have to think that to deal and match up with Bunch, you got to like Josh on him, just on the post, and Josh's ability to read the game.
Yeah, it looks like
provide a little length on him would be our best option at trying to neutralize him, at least on the block.
Looks like that's what they're going to go with, as I think Cal Drake is going to slide over to Best as he checked in for Khalil DA. Now Bryan looking for a spark. Trey Morrow gets the ball to Cal Drake. He'll take a contested pull-up three, no good. That is Cutlip, the only one of the Pikeville starters left in the game besides Bunch on the rebound. The three from Ridgeton, a quick pull, buries it in the face of Johnson. That pretty good defense right there. Not a whole lot you can do better than what Johnson gave. Morrow receives the handoff, pull up two, no good. Pikeville's got a chance to push. Bryan did a pretty good job of getting back there. Best doesn't care. He'll take one anyways. Good box out by Gales on the rebound.
Pikeville looks to keep this pressure up, and I think that's what happens when you get that early 12-point lead. So we see a foul there on Gales, is you're able to just keep your foot on the gas. You know, keep coming down, run some transition, get balls out, continue to pull the three ball, which they've done a really good job of so far. But it also looks like they got a bit of an edge off the bench, just probably with overall depth.
Yep. I would say you're right there, Jordan. There doesn't seem to be a lot of drop-off from the starters to the guys that are out there right now. Cutlip will go take a seat. I believe that was just his first foul. And this will be number 3, Zion Blevins, to replace him. And Gales knocks down the pair of free throws, much needed for the Lions at this point in the ball game. As Pikeville, they're going to shoot like this from the outside. It's going to get ugly pretty quick. The three from Ridgeton is good. We just mentioned it, and Ridgeton proves us right. 28-15 lead for the Bears.
Scanning through their roster, they have a decent amount of guys from Pikeville, the Pikeville area. 3 or 4 on the roster, but you know the state of Kentucky is known for its basketball.
Yep.
But nonetheless, still a pretty crazy stat to have 3, 4 hometown guys on one team that is, you know, a team this good.
Yeah.
To where you're getting that many good players around the area. You see a pull there from Bunch, and he knocks it down, and you just said it, but I don't know that we've stopped them with your comment, 2 for 2 from behind the arc, since you said they need to slow down, and they don't show any signs of that at the moment. The Lions are going to have to get some points here quickly.
They are 7 of 12 from three-point range right now, and that's a tough mark to keep going for. But this team, man, they may have the ability to do it. Yeah, offensive foul from Bunch, Pikeville's coach. Ty Compton not very happy about the call.
Earlier this year, and you may know it better than me, being my first time here doing the basketball, was we played Southeastern, and it was a pretty crazy, I think.
Yeah.
Obviously, they kind of took it to us a little bit, but I remember looking at the box score after that game and seeing how well they shot the three ball, thinking, you're not going to see that again this year.
Yeah.
And now the Bears are in here on pace for that type of game where you're shooting well over 50%. You have to think they regress to the mean there as you see Trey gets blocked on a take to the rim, but if they don't, like you said, it's going to be it'll be not early in the first half.
That's a good point. Yeah, Southeastern, that game you're talking about, Blevins for 3. Oh, man, that one would have been a gut punch. Southeastern shot 42 three-pointers and made 65% of them, which is, if you're unfamiliar with the sport of basketball, that's pretty ridiculous. And Pikeville looks to be just about on that pace right now.
Every time Rigdon gets the ball near the top of the key, I'm thinking, well, you said the quick release. You're thinking he's going to pull. He's hit a step back. He's hit a set shot. You got to be worried about him. And he's just one of 4 or 5 guys you got to worry about from behind the arc so far in this game.
Yeah, Rigdon, the 9th guy to enter this game for Pikeville. Not often that you find the 9th guy that can give you 6 quick points in the AAC. Rigdon around the screen, gets the kick out to Best. Best cans it. That seems to be what he does best. But, yeah, if you're Bryan, I think the defensive philosophy's got to change. I think the help that all Pikeville's doing is reacting to help. Gales for 3 now. That one no good. Pikeville's just waiting for Bryan to react and then kicking it out, and they've got such talented and adept shooters that they're just letting it fly. I think the philosophy's got to change for the Lions. I know the pack line is Coach Rakowski's bread and butter, and trust me, it yields results, but against a talented team like this, I'm just not sure you can stay in it the full game.
Well, the good thing about being down this big early is there's no pressure on you, right? Mm-hmm. You can mix it up. Yeah. Finally a roll there. Finally a roll. We'll take it.
Josh doesn't need to mix it up. He's got one move. Works 60% of the time every time. Warwicks will get on the three-point parade. Miss the float. We'll have Baher pull up for a triple, his second of the game. Not something we're used to seeing, but a welcome sight for the Lions. As if he's going to be, they're going to have to guard him out here. It's going to be a much different ball game for Pikeville on the defensive end because normally teams just paint him.
Yeah, and you think it would send some warning signs to the conference. If Josh starts hitting those, then it's going to be a lot, another dimension as a player. A lot harder to defend as we see him top of the key here. He's so good with the ball. If he can extend that range, then he's going to become one of the bigger matchup issues probably in the league.
Definitely. Yeah, you see him there running after Looney. You can kind of tell, nice move from Warwick. Got Torres on the stop, turnaround shot. Yeah, you can kind of see that Baher is a little winded right now. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets a substitution near the 3 or 4 minute mark, likely a Hayden Moten. 36-22, 7:05 on the clock left in the first half. Jordan, we had Josh on earlier. Jordan and I are going to step away for just a moment and be right back on Bryan Lions Live. And welcome back. The Pikeville Bears look to, not sure what the scoring record is in this gym, but they're looking to break it wide open based on their start. And with as deep as they are, I would venture to guess that they're going to continue to knock them down with fresh legs.
Absolutely, and you just said Josh looked like he needed a bit of a break, and he got the timeout, and he's back in there. That's something that's been a staple this year, is he doesn't come off the floor much.
Yeah. And that is a staple this year, but a staple of a Don Rakowski program. That 5 stays on the floor whenever he is available. Bunch working on Baher. He'll swing it one more, back to Bunch. Bunch drives the lane. Oh, nice hesitation. Just walk him to the rim.
Good recovery by Josh there to be able to contest that shot without fouling.
Torres, deep 3. Got it. Cole Torres, been a revelation off the bench, something that the Lions haven't seen for a few years here. A tall wing that can guard and knock down the triple. they'll need a few more from him before the day's over.
Yeah, seeing Cole last year, one thing is the ability to knock down the trey's always been there, but the physicality, looks like he's been in the weight room in the offseason, his ability to defend, which I know if you're going to get Coach Rico to put you in the game, you've got to show that you can play defense, and he looks so much more of a complete player this year, and just the maturity and growth that he's shown to be a legit option for the Lions proves to probably be a pretty big guy down the stretch in this tournament, or in the tournament run, in the conference season run.
Nice pump fake performed by Copley. No good. The ball will be off of Pikeville called. And now the referee will change the call. It'll be Bears basketball. Ball hit the rim, so they'll reset the shot clock to 20. Drake going to come off the floor. Cal Drake, another guy that's been good off the bench, hasn't performed his best today, you could say, but one of those guys that they definitely need to play well when Khalil DA goes and takes a break.
Yeah, and he's such a dynamic athlete. He's got a ton of length. He's very explosive, and also a young guy. You got to think good block there from behind by Ian.
A little athleticism still left in those legs.
Absolutely. I didn't know how much he had left in the legs at this point.
Baher finding Torres. Torres will pull it himself just short. Would have been a big three-pointer, as it feels like this is the longest scoring drought for Pikeville this game. L.A. Walker all the way in. Tough move. Kept more on his hip and went through DA for the bucket. And a miscue, plain and simple, for the Lions there. And another full timeout taken by Coach Rakowski as he wants to talk things over. 38-25, we are quickly approaching halftime with 4:46 left. Jordan and I are going to take one more break and be right back. And happy Saturday to all of those out there who are with us right now. Hope you're relaxed. Hope you're getting a well-earned rest from a week of hard work. Our work week almost over. Jordan, I know you work the 70-hour work week plan. I'm a little bit less, but
yeah, it just depends. We're getting baseball's ended for the fall, so I'm on a little bit more of a slower schedule here through the holiday season, which is always nice. And especially in my house now that the volleyball team season is over as well, so Jess is done. So it's calm. It's a little bit of calm, which we don't get a ton of calm in my house with two coaches and an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old, but I'm enjoying it.
Copley from the corner. No good. Torres going to throw it out ahead. Pinpoint pass. And I think everybody looks to be okay as their feet just got tangled up. Very scary, kind of eerily similar to what happened to Katie Farrell in the women's game, as you get those feet tangled up and something just pops or goes out on you. Glad to see they're both up quick and okay.
See if we can finish this last 4:10 strong, maybe keep it around inside, maybe even get it to single digits there. You'd have, with the start the Lions had, have to be pumped. What a shot by Regale.
That's what he does.
Have to be pumped with that if you're Coach Rakowski. After they had us doubled up at 34-17 there for a while. Pretty good run for us to get back in the game. We can finish these last 4 minutes well.
Yeah. That is what Regal Moore does. Kind of some stuff that as a basketball coach you see some of the stuff he does and you're like, oh my goodness. But it normally works out as Torres going to commit the hard foul there. Nothing malicious, just didn't want to let him have a chance to get that one up into the bucket. Bunch will shoot 2.
Seems that we've adjusted well, at least trying to defend Bunch, because early in the game he had a couple big chances down in the post, one-on-one, and he capitalized on those. And now, whether it's we've decided to change it up a little bit defensively to see if we can negate him. Like you said, Division I transfer, he's got everything, size, length, strength, ability to move, which is something that at this level, you rarely see guys that can do everything. And he seems to be one of those guys, at least for the few games I've seen, maybe one of the more talented players in the league this year.
Baher was looking to get it to Johnson, didn't work out. Fade away from Baher, no good. There he is in the paint. Khalil DA up, and he missed the putback. He's still got his hand on the ball. He's going to go up again. Khalil DA, 100% effort.
That is the epitome of Khalil. Man, he's always on the floor. He's got a motor on him, man, and just to be able to get that, pull down 2 offensive rebounds in between 2 Bear defenders.
Best quick trigger. My goodness, that is a set shot he can get off in a phone booth. Baher gets it to Regal Moore. He'll pull behind the screen. No good. The hustle effort from Baher almost yielded an offensive rebound. Not to be. Pikeville with the ball. Bunch pulls up for 3. And the rebound, Bryan, as they've dodged a few bullets here from beyond the arc. You'd like to see him get some points on the board. Regal Moore all the way to the 10 and in.
Great take there to get it back to single digits. Line's down 8. 2:20 remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, Regal working on, I believe that's Jace Copley over there. Checked in the game. Pikeville played 12 players in this one. As I think that one hit the shot clock, they're not going to call it.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
What we're seeing is a little bit of the regression to the mean there for the Bears behind the arc. And if you didn't see the first part of the first half, you'd probably say they're cold, but you didn't realize that they're shooting 70% there to start the game.
They've just gone down to a mediocre 45% as Bunch going to use his size, go right over top of Johnson.
Yeah, they'll take that matchup all day. Bunch thought he was fouled, and I think he may have had just an inadvertent hand to the face there from Ian, but he didn't get the call.
Looks like we're going to ride this lineup out the rest of the time. Torres going to work on Copley. Pull up 3, top of the key. Cole Torres. Nothing but net. And right now the Lions sticking with a very talented Pikeville squad. I didn't expect them to put up much resistance after going down 17, but you're right. Once you're down big like that, the pressure is off.
Well, sometimes it makes it a little bit easier, especially in a big matchup like this. I know, and obviously you have no expertise in basketball at all, but in baseball, a lot of times it's easier once the game gets started to kind of just let yourself go out there and perform and go back to what you've tried to prepare. And the jitters or the nervousness, so to speak, of the first couple innings for us or the first couple possessions or minutes here, once you kind of get out there and you stop worrying about everything else and you just kind of settle into what you're trying to do and just let yourself go out and play. And it seems to be something that's helped the Lions here as they've kind of got back into this game. Defended a lot better, started to knock down some shots, but you didn't think that the Bears were going to be able to shoot at the clip they were shooting at, and the Lions weren't getting many rolls earlier as we see Josh again. Man, I was hoping that one dropped.
Yeah, that would have been a big triple there, Jordan. 10-point advantage for the Lions. Oh, man.
Weak whistle.
Yeah, Coach Rakowski incensed. So is the rest of the Lions bench. There is no replay review in the NAIA, however. That would definitely be one that you would use the challenge on.
Absolutely. When's that coming down the pipe? You got to think that's coming at some point.
It made it to D3 last year. I don't know. The problem with the replay is that you got to have the technology to do it. DA in the paint, pass from Gales. Nice move from Khalil DA as his headband comes off in the process. Looks like he'll toss that to the sideline. But
do we have that capability at the national tournament with it being one site? Do you know if we have that there in the NAIA? I know they.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That is something at the World Series in the NAIA. They do have replay review. And like you said, it is because you're at one central location where you can set the technology up and let it go versus multiple sites.
Yeah. And I think Pikeville wants a shooting foul. His bunch heads-up play, turned around and jumped and kind of made a shooting motion. They have multiple fouls to give. They had 2 to give. They've still got another one if they want it. I would guess that Pikeville will try to do something similar there as they'll come off the screen. Bunch, the deep three-pointer in the half is good. A backbreaker for the Bears comes at the hands of Bradley Bunch. I mean, if you're the Lions, you play so well that half. You absorb every punch that they've got. You battle it back to an 8-point deficit, and then you get a guy like that to just nail it in your heart.
Absolutely, man. What a shot from him to end the half and kind of get some momentum back for the Bears. Hard to say when a team's they've been in control the entire half, but started to feel like the Lions were scratching back into it and just a bad taste in your mouth going into the halftime. But we'll see what Coach Rakoski can do, see if the Lions can come out hot in this second half and keep this in single digit, and see if we can make a run and see if we can nick one from one of the better teams in the league and the better teams in the country.
That's well said. That's what they're trying to do. That's what they're hoping they do. And Jordan are going to step away for halftime. At the end of halftime, we are going to get head women's coach Matt Bolant to talk about their game immediately preceding this one. And so that'll be coming up in about 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes. So stick around for that here on Bryan Lions Live. And we are back for the second half, 40 seconds to action. Jordan and I had the privilege of calling this one. This has been just one of those games that the fans really like. Lots of buckets going in, lots of exciting action offensively. If you know anything about basketball fans, they don't like defense unless it's a chase down block or something like that.
Yeah, we're wanting it to be back and forth, a lot of transition, a lot of running. Because I would not categorize myself as a basketball guy, but if I'm going to be here, I want a lot of points.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. I think if you go watch a baseball game, you're not, maybe the purists are appreciating a 2-1, a top one-run game, but we prefer 14-12.
Yep.
And if you come to the line games, that's what you get a lot of.
Yeah.
So, but it's been a fun one so far, and we'll see if the lines can come out. See what Coach Wierkowski, if he. Maybe Josh Muncy, a little Josh Muncy shout out here. See what they've done at the halftime break to get the lines ready to go for this second half. And maybe we'll see some more Josh Baher behind the arc, which is what we've loved to see so far in this one.
A welcome surprise indeed, Jordan. The first 2 minutes of the second half are the biggest point in any ball game that's not already out of reach. And the Lions absolutely need to trim at least 5 to 6 off of this lead. DA in the paint and one. They caught Looney with his hand in the cookie jar. DA takes advantage, and he'll shoot one more to make it a 3-point play.
For everybody at home, DA comes out with no headband. Had some headband issues in the first half. He's decided to ditch it, and he's come out with a little bit of the old school 3-point play to start the half, get the Lions back to an 8-point deficit.
That one erasing the Bradley Bunch buzzer beater that took place at the end of the half.
The Lions have to get Dalen Gales and Ian Johnson in the game offensively. In the first half, a little uncharacteristic.
Nice move.
Didn't really score a ton.
Yeah.
Neither of those guys got going behind the arc. Have to hope that they can get a little bit hotter and be the offensive threats that they are.
This is going to be a tough matchup for Dalen. He's determinate, as you see a little. I would call that the white man's alley-oop there.
That's right.
As Johnson, DeBaher upstairs for the layup. But this is just a tough matchup for Gales because they've got bodies everywhere to travel on Cutlip, and he's a real physical driver. For him to have impact in this game, I look at he's an excellent knockdown shooter as well. He's going to have to get going from behind the arc, maybe in the mid-range. And then for Johnson, he's had great looks, and we commented on it up here. The ball just has to go in the hole. It's got to stop rimming out.
Well, it looks like they've tried to run some motion at the top to get him on the ball as we see Josh backing down in the post.
And there he is. Dalen Gale.
Great shot there. You have a history. You got a future in this, Drew, with that call, that shout out there. You also shouted out a couple big 3-pointers earlier for the Bears, so we're going to have to keep you quiet when they're on the offensive end.
That's right. Just the way of the team in white. They're going to double that a Coach Wierkowski special he's known for. Bunch got past Baher into Khalil DA. Felt like he was set up for maybe a minute straight there, and they called a blocking foul. It's got to be a restricted area thing right there.
Well, Coach Wierkowski not happy having a go here at this official.
Yeah.
Which now kind of feeling that part in the game. It was the Lions had cut it back to within 5. You feel more of a little bit of a swing there if you're Coach Wierkowski in the momentum shift, and that's just a big 3-point bucket for Bunch there to get the 8-point lead restored.
Well, that right there. So there's new rules in college basketball, Jordan, about the charge block rule. Gales all the way, nifty move, right-handed, using his body and then a little flare on the finish. But there's new rules basically where if a defender takes a charge and the offensive player is already in the act of going up, then it's a block every time. So maybe that's what they got him for, as Warwick cans a big triple, get the lead back to 9.
Big shot for him. He didn't get going behind the arc. One of the only Bears that didn't in the first half. If he gets that going, you would think that would negate what the Lions have done, is we're able to retain possession there on ball poked out by the Bears. Warwick's not happy with that call, and I think he may actually have a legitimate shout there.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen a couple of questionable back and forth. Whose ball is it? Tip ball calls, as I know Ian Johnson would probably like that one back. Good design on the inbounds play, but a heads-up play by Walker there to kick that one away. Negates what would have been a wide-open layup.
With his back turned, yeah. Good poke there. Led all scorers in the first half, did Walker. Had a really good, I guess, start to the day behind the arc. He's got a ton of length, and he's a matchup nightmare for the Lions.
Johnson going to work on Warwick's 13 on the shot clock. Thought about getting it to DA for a moment. They do now. DA working on Bunch. Nifty move in the lane. The step-through works to perfection. You wouldn't think that DA would have the advantage in that matchup, but he made it work.
Hey, no headband Kalir is a monster so far.
DA has started every game as Walker takes a step-back triple, misses, and Johnson comes away with the ball. But DA started every game, but his minutes have been limited because Cal Drake's been playing so well. Johnson from deep, from the NAIA logo.
Big-time shot, and what we asked for was a little bit more Ian, a little more Dalen, and both of those guys have started the second half well, got the Lions back down 4. If we're going to have a shot to take this thing, they've got to stay hot, and we've got to be able to defend. Good job by Kalir on the help D there. But with him contesting the shot, nobody in the paint to be able to box out and put back for Looney there to put it back to a 6-point lead for the UPIKE Bears. Coach Compton a little upset there in this huddle. And I think it's probably due to the fact that their defense, I don't know that it's anything they've done that's been bad. It's more the fact that the Lions have come out and hit some good contested shots, had a couple good drives through the lane to the rim.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I think Warwick's maybe made a defensive error on Johnson, and that was the only thing. And then Johnson didn't even score on that. He missed the layup. So that's been the only thing of note so far. This probably, sometimes coaches, the old adage, light a fire under you. This probably more just a smoke and mirrors show to, like, the light a fire under his team. Because, I mean, I'm sure Compton realizes as well as we do up here, they can definitely lose this game. Bryan has the talent and has the team to do it, to be a team that potentially upsets them. So I think that's what this timeout is for. We're about ready to get underway once again. The starters will remain on the floor. Before Ian hit that three, I was talking about Kalir. Kalir has started every game, but his minutes have been, somewhere in the 13 to 15 range, and it's just been because Cal Drake has played so well off the bench. But, I mean, this game, Kalir is replacing all of that and more from what they normally get from him. Johnson, step-back three over the shoulder. Warwick's no good. Ball fought for, and it's come away with from the Bears. Excuse me, I got kind of tripped over my words there.
Josh almost had a touch there to be able to tip it in. As you see the help D, that's going to be 44 Looney with a wide-open three, but Walker on the offensive boards. Big second chance point right here coming for the Bears.
Yeah.
And that's something you've got to think for the Lions in the second half. We've got to keep them off the boards on the offense. Second chance points with their athleticism and their size, if we're giving those up to the Bears, it's going to be tough to be able to cut down the 6-point lead and try to come away with a win here.
That's well said, yeah. And it's just a matter of Pikeville's bigger than us. We're giving up size at almost every position, especially when they run to double like that. When it moves Josh out of the paint, it's going to be a long day on the glass, securing it for these guards and wings for sure. That pair of free throws, gets it back to an 8-point lead for the Bears. Bryan looking to dig into it here. Gales around the handoff. Johnson around the screen. No good from Johnson. Missed a pair of triples that would have been widely important for the Lions.
Hadn't said Bunch's name a ton in this second half as we
what
see
a
him on
move.
the drive there. And maybe you gave me the curse of mentioning something about the Bears and then letting them instantly capitalize on it. Good kick out to Ian there.
Johnson no good on the jumper. Pretty decent defense by Ridgeson. Ridgeson might should have just fallen there as Johnson gave him a little encouragement to get off of him in the lane. over Ian, and just like that, it is a 12-point Pikeville advantage.
It's what we saw in the first half when Ridgeton came in, a couple quick buckets. It almost like an instant spark plug for the Bears, able to come in. They were up 8 in the first half and then pulled it to 20 when he came in. And he's come in, and they're back up into a, 12-point lead now. So he seems to be that guy off the bench that kind of gets them going. He's perfect behind the arc so far. That's his first miss.
There you go. Jinx him the other way.
That's right. We need it. I need a lot more of that.
Gales with the ball working on Warwick's. Nice pass. The up fake gets both Pikeville defenders, and DA puts it in. DA has got to be close to leading the Lions in scoring right now.
Josh is probably first, but I would say Kalir is definitely second. Good defense by DA on the perimeter.
You are right about that. Bunch working on Baher, swings it to Warwick's. Warwick's deep three. Haven't seen that a lot today.
Knocked it down, the hometown Pikeville kid.
Yeah, I know you've never been to a Pikeville game, but he is beloved in that arena up there.
After the promising start to the second half by the Lions, the Bears have kind of settled back in. Stretch this lead to 13 as you see a deep three by Moore, knocks it down to get it back to a 10-point game. He hit some big shots.
Like paddles to a comatose patient right there. Felt like this one was getting close to getting a little spiraled out of control. Regal Moore, that shot kind of reaches back for control, and now they get the turnover. Moore up to Gales. Gales all the way, the finish over Warwick. Another timeout taken by Pikeville. As every time they've kind of put their foot on the gas, Bryan comes right back. And, I mean, it's going to take a lot, but it'll be interesting to see how this goes down the stretch. Jordan and I are going to take our first break of the half and be right back here on Bryan Lions Live. And welcome in. It feels like we have almost the whole Bryan staff at this game, Jordan. Let's see women's soccer coaches. We've got you and Jess to my left and right. We've got the women's head coach after their game. Feels like the whole Bryan family here for the men's basketball game.
We got a lot of people. Hey, you know, it's getting toward the holiday season. Saturday here at the gym. A lot of people have shut down for the fall. Hey, shout out to men's soccer. Found out they're going to Williamsburg, Kentucky, and their national tournament game. They're going to face off with Rio Grande, and if they win that one, they'll face the host, University of the Cumberland, who I believe is the 6th overall national seed. So what a job Coach Davidson's done. I've been on those games all year, and it's been fun to see. They're the only team that fall sport's still going here on the campus of Bryan College.
I just learned, Jordan, that I'm going to get an all-expenses-paid trip to go see that.
Hey, you know, the good thing is you probably won't have to do a ton of work because they have one of the best departments in the country. I know I was thinking about taking my talents on the road for the national tournament for soccer, but once I saw that they were heading to University of the Cumberland, said, I will be there probably, but as a fan, just get to take it in. And we went to our baseball national tournament. We were the 1 seed there in 2018, and the University of Cumberland does a great job as host. I loved going there. Been lucky to go to 8 national tournaments, and I would say between them and Taylor University, the best 2 opening rounds I've been to. They do a great job hosting. The campus is beautiful. Facilities are amazing. As we see Bunch kind of get back going, make it a 72-59 Bear lead, but it'll be a fun weekend for our soccer team, and maybe they go up there and shock the world a little bit and make their way out to Kansas.
I'm all for it. I think it'll be a fun trip. I'm interested to see what you're talking about. I've only been to the Cumberlands one time, and that was just for a game, so I didn't get to see the full scope of their hosting abilities. So if you'd like to check that out, that'll be more details located on the NAIA website, and you can find dates, times, live stream links, live stat links, all that good stuff over there.
The game should be Thursday. I don't know anything about a time yet, but if we win that one, we'll play on Saturday. Good shot there by Dalen. Knocks down the triple to get it back to 10. And, before that timeout, the Lions have kind of eked back in, then it's a Pikeville run, eked back in, but they're just refusing to die, and I think that's what Coach Compton for the Bears, with a little bit heated going into that timeout, is you hate when a team hangs around like that in anything, and, you want to go put these guys to bed, and the Lions have done a good job at staying in there, see if we can go on a mini run ourselves.
Another friendly roll from L.A. Walker.
L.A. Walker having the...
Yeah. He's having a day, man.
Yeah, he is having a day. Good job by Dalen to draw the contact there. He's going to go to the line and shoot 2. That foul's going to be on Bunch. That may be his 3rd.
We can get on that right now, actually. That'll be Bunch's 3rd. That's correct. Kind of a light whistle game. Not a whole lot of fouls being called. Pikeville's got 2 guys with 2, but that's about it. And Bryan has Khalil D.A. and Cole Torres with 2 apiece. 2 big parts of their team. See Trey Morrow check in for Regal Moore. He'll take over point guard duties.
Bunch is out for Best, and Warwick's back in the game as well.
Check in for Blevins. Blevins only playing spot minutes here in this one.
We haven't seen Best from behind the arc in this half, which is there's anything that's happened to start this game keeps up, he'll come down here and knock a dagger in our heart on this possession.
Looks like they're probably going to put him in some sort of secondary action as he'll slide over to the corner. They'll go back to Higdon, and Pikeville kind of just playing with it right now. L.A. Walker, the man, has been on fire, finds Warwick's 7 on the shot clock, dribbling around. Needs to create something for Pikeville. He'll work on Torres. The step back from Warwick. Deep 3. Oh, just short. Would have been a killer. Rebound by Baher.
He's so quick, man, and they list him there at 5'7" on the roster. And I think that's probably a little bit giving him a couple inches. Good job by Dalen. He drops it off to Kalir. He's unable to hold on to it. That would have been an easy bucket to cut the Bear lead back to 9. But Warwick's listed at 5'7". Probably a couple inches shorter than that, but absolute menace with the ball. Quick, lateral movement. He's hit a couple big threes. You said he was, maybe I need to make my way up to Pikeville to see a game in that arena up there.
Something that nobody else in the conference can offer, not that I can think of at least. And normally Warwick is a lot more, the games I've seen him, another one just rims out for Pikeville. The games I've seen him, Warwick is a talented on-ball defender. He hasn't done as much of that here today as we have a shot clock issue. Looks like they'll probably reset it to 26. But
we're getting to that point of the game where the Lions are going to have to start getting points every time down the floor to try to cut this lead to manageable at the back end.
Gales with the spin move, tough pull-up jumper, draws the foul from Ridgeton as he got a little bit too overzealous there with his closeout.
Dalen's done a good job of getting to the line today.
Yep.
I know in the first half I think he was 3 or 4, and drawing a couple fouls here in the start of the second half. But he's got to knock those down as he missed his last one. So it's 2 in a row that he's missed. You can tell he's frustrated with himself. Always been very reliable, from what I've seen, very reliable from the free throw line.
Gale's a big physical driver that creates contact no matter what. And another miss, very uncharacteristic. He's now 4 of 7 on the day, 3 free throws missed. Just don't often see that from him.
3 in a row from him, which is so uncharacteristic.
And right now, Bryan desperately needing a stop here as Ridgeton loops around. He'll get it back to Bunch, swings left wing. Walker working on D.A. all the way in. D.A. swallows it up.
Great defense, Kalir.
As you hear the applause from just about everybody in the gym, Baher trying to big man the big man. Gets his hand on the ball, gets it to Gales. This would be a big one. Dalen Gales just short. And Bradley Bunch going to come out of it.
That was one of the plays that we needed. Tyler Best with an easy left-handed lay-in. That was one of those where it was a momentum shift.
Yep.
Just a hustle play to get the ball back by Josh, and Dalen knocks that down. You feel like it swings momentum.
Yep.
And then on the other end, the Bears go down and get an easy bucket in transition. Stretch this lead back to 13. 8:30 remaining. Lions have to get going.
DA working in the post for a moment. They'll go back to him. He's got the matchup he wants on Best. Warwick's cheated. Cole Torres for 3, no good. And right now, shots just not falling.
Yeah, went a little cold there from the field, and that's not what you need when you're trying to come back from a 10-point deficit.
Ridgeden pull-up jumper, that was automatic in the first half. He's cooled down considerably here in the second as well.
Yeah, you said he was the 9th guy off the bench for the Bears to start the game, and the way he started with the shots he was knocking down, I was starting to question why he wasn't in the lineup. Yeah. But has seemed to come back. He got a little bit of a push there on, they're going to call it a travel. I thought he extended that front arm. I thought we may have seen a little bit of a push there for an offensive foul, but Bears basketball nonetheless.
And Ridgeden, just a freshman, so I would guess if he sticks around this institution that the, as you said, the lineup is probably in his future. Pikeville's got a lot of upperclassmen.
He's another Pikeville guy, man. He's those hometown kids. You got to have somebody with. Would you say Warwick's is a junior? So Warwick's has got another year, but
yeah, Bunch has got another year. This Pikeville team's gonna be dangerous for a long time as Morrow takes out Best, and the absolute last thing that this Lions squad needed to see right there was a good shooter going to the line to shoot 3 free throws. As I think Ian Johnson checked in just a moment ago, missed that one.
Best shooting the second of his 3 free throws here. Junior from Seymour, Australia.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, they got a couple Australians on the roster here going down through here. One that we haven't seen yet, Jacob Lloyd, also. Both look like they transferred into Pikeville, which I assume with the type of program they are, it's probably heavy transfers.
Yep.
As we mentioned, Bunch was a Division I transfer. They've got a lot of junior college guys listed on the roster. So even more impressive what Jalen Rigdon's doing to get minutes as a freshman on a team that is pretty old across the board.
Baher has it poked away. Morrow gets it for a moment, loses Ridgeden. He's got people open. Torres steps into a 3. Cole Torres.
Big-time shot. Had to have that one there to get to 13.
Absolutely needed it. Torres missed his first couple in the second half. Now he's got to sit down and guard the team's point guard, Warwick. Best will take a triple. That one off. Baher and Looney fighting. Looney knows he got a little bit too shovey with that one. As Moore will check back in for Morrow. And Moore, a guy that I thought was just kind of going to be a token starter guy, maybe play 12, 15 minutes in that role. But his performances have dictated that he's going to receive more minutes. He's probably up to over 20 a game as we're speaking.
Cole was looking for that ball at the top of the key. And he's hit some big shots today, so.
Oh, wow. Baher just bullies his way inside, somehow gets it to go. I mean, Looney with picture-perfect defense. Nothing better he could have done.
Nothing you can do there. Just tip your cap and move on.
Torres a little late getting off the screen. Instead, he strips it away from Walker.
Good active hands by Cole. We haven't said Cutlet's name here in the second half. He had a really good start to the ball game, which if you were wearing black, you had a good start to the ball game with the way they came out on all cylinders, firing both ends of the floor, regardless of where they pulled from. Seemed to really have the stroke going in the first half.
Cutlip, a guy that I mean, I watched him a little bit last year, watched him at Pikeville and conference tournament. He's a guy with a short leash. He's ultra talented, but you can tell that he kind of drives his coach a little nuts with some of the stuff he does. There's a post move battle going on. Baher going to get the best of it. Looney will commit the traveling violation, but yeah, Cutlip, one of those guys with a ton of talent that just kind of drives Compton a little crazy at times, and he plays because obviously he can go for 8 straight early in the game with no issue. But staying on the floor is kind of a different beast for him right now.
Yeah, and with a team with the depth that they have, you have to go in and play pretty flawless to be able to take a lot of minutes as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
And we really haven't seen anybody out. Walker and Warwicks and Bunch seem to be the 3 that stay on the floor the most. I don't know how Dalen was able to keep that ball in.
Impressive. Now he's got to get back in transition. Cutlip looks like he'll pull up for the moment. Walker left all alone.
Wrong guy to leave
in
open.
The corner. No good. Regal Moore.
Great job.
Oh, no.
Good hustle play by Moore. And just unlucky that it bounced.
Yeah, I thought it hit the red. I thought
I don't know. That's what I thought too. Official was in good position to call it, but was able to jump up, throw it off Looney, and it felt like it took ages for the ball to get down, and it was in front of him. He reaches out and grabs it, and Bears are going to keep possession. Tough luck for the Lions as they fight to try to get back in it. Walker on the ball. He's been the best scorer of the day.
Bunch. Quick pull-up 3. My goodness.
These rims, man, they brought them from Kentucky. They've been getting all the rolls. That we had to replace a rim last night. I'm not sure that Pikeville didn't put their own rims when they got in. Good take by Baher. He's going to get the and one to go.
Big-time play. And right there, a huge play. And I'm not trying to knock anybody, but I'd like a little bit more reaction from the crowd. I'd like a little bit more from the bench there. That essentially keeps you within striking distance, the and one from the big man.
That's true. I think it's one of those where it feels worse. The game feels like it's more out of hand than it is because they jumped out to such a big lead, and then they've just kind of kept a comfortable lead. The Lions have done a good job to get back into it, but if we're going to make this comeback, you're going to want the crowd to get going.
Yep.
And you're right, man. It was pretty much crickets in here.
Works is working on Moore, top of the key, swings one more to Keenan Couplet. No good. Got to have that rebound.
Those second chance points, man. You have to play a flawless game in the last 4:22, and bounces like that to Warwicks. Oh, tough foul call.
Yeah. I think he did get him, but the late whistle always in a close game with under 5, it's kind of tough to stomach for the fans on the losing end of it. I assume we'll see Ian Johnson check back in. I don't see him. He's not at the table yet. I thought maybe we'd see him right about now.
You got to start getting those guys that can not get hot from the perimeter.
Yeah.
And going to have to hit some threes down the stretch to be able to get back in it because it's pretty unrealistic to think that you're going to hold Pikeville super down on the offensive end. So you're going to have to hit some 3 balls behind the arc to see if we can cut this lead and get it back within reaching distance here.
Yeah. Now, I don't think Bryan's played a bad defensive game. I know they've given up 83. There's been some miscues, as with any game, but sweet pass from Josh.
Yeah, what a job by him. And I think it was just the start. It was the Bears coming out on absolute fire that they jumped out to such a big lead, doubled us up at, in the first 9 minutes. I think we were down 17. And it's just hard to come back from that because then if they just go to their average, then it's going to be hard to catch up. You almost have to play a flawless game or you got to catch fire like they did in the first half, which the Lions have done a great job of keeping it within distance, but we're getting to that point where it's put up or shut up here with 3:46 remaining.
I think a wise timeout here from Coach Rakowski. I think, this is going to be a strategy timeout. This is going to be what's your best play? What can you draw up on the clipboard to get yourself as quick a bucket as possible? Can be a 2, can be a 3. You still got 3:44 left. But you can't take these timeouts with you to the next game. He had 4, so wise to spend one here.
Absolutely. You got to got to draw something up to, you're going to have to see some buckets. Regardless of what happens, 2 or 3 doesn't matter. We're just going to have to get some points, play some good defense. Maybe we get some of the roles that the Bears have had. We can make it a couple possessions here in the last couple minutes. Maybe we give ourselves a chance. And what's Pikeville's record on the year? Do you have an idea what they are?
I can grab it real quick.
I know conference play just started, so I doubt they have a loss within the league. So I'm assuming they played 1 or 2 games at the most.
Yeah, I think the opening to the conference schedule was when we played Tennessee Wesleyan. I don't think there were any games scheduled before that. So, yeah, I'd imagine this is their second conference game. They are 5-0 and 1-0 in conference. They beat Milligan Wednesday.
Which also has been a team in the top of the league and top of the standings consistently. I know they had the player of the year in the tournament or in the conference last year.
Yeah. He's gone. Mr. Folly Bogans. Or Folly Bogan. Bogans? I don't know.
I think it's Bogan. I think no S.
Bogan. No S, okay. Yeah. He is, I think that Milligan was probably his 3rd or 4th school, and he ran out of years.
He was a high-volume guy. I remember watching him here, and I think it was over maybe Christmas break, and it was pretty – I didn't feel like anybody was in the gym, but he had at least 25 shot attempts, man. There's a good take right there by Dalen.
Yeah.
And he's going to draw the foul, and that will be a happy sight for the Lions if he can get up. I think he crashed hard into that pad.
Looks to be okay. Dalen has those that know him, a flair for the dramatic, so maybe just a little bit of showmanship there.
We're going to see if he can right those wrongs from the free throw line here, as he'd missed 3 straight. And I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I would put a lot of money on him cashing this one.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it'd be odd to see him miss 4 in a row, but he does, and we need to stop talking about it.
That's why I'm not a betting man.
As the 83-75 Bears lead, you got to walk it up the court here, get into something good. These sets that they're running, they're just moving constantly. It's very difficult to defend. I think the bench wanted Warwick to pull up there. Torres has given him a lot of space. Warwick has showed he can make it. Ridgeton off the screen. That's a tough one.
I'm telling you, that's a little bit of a weak whistle. And they'd let them play across the board tonight. Not, like you mentioned, not a ton of foul calls, but we've got a couple soft ones late. And it's just one of those things when you're coming from behind, you can't afford to have that whistle there for a foul.
Yeah. 3:14 left. Warwick's working on Torres once again.
Torres is giving him some space here.
Yeah. Well, he's not a knockdown shooter. He's knocked down some in this game.
And he's so quick, you almost have to prepare for him to take you on the dribble. Walker has been the kind of shooter that we've wanted, and that ball's going to go out. 2 seconds, though, on the clock, so they're going to have something quick off the inbound here. This screams Bradley Bunch into the half, little quarter turn tray off a screen at the top of the key here is my guess.
And they'll just go over the top to Bunch. Good defense being played by Baher. He'll get it up the floor. Baher looking for somebody, finds D.A. D.A. couldn't handle it cleanly, and he's going to need to get it to somebody. Finally finds Moore. 8-point ball game. Moore, important possession here. Ridgeton playing really solid defense in the corner. Baher working on Bunch, the 2 big men. They've been going at it all day. Bunch anchoring himself. Baher over Bunch. No good. The ball in play in the air. And, Pikeville comes away with it. That was all due to Ridgeton, though, man. He came over and made a hero play on that. Walker up and in over Gale.
That one feels like a little bit of a gut punch there. Who else but Walker? Walker has been so good all day on the offensive side of the ball. Dalen, good drive, and he's going to get the 2 back. Good quick bucket for the Lions. Claw back to 8-point lead, and we got to do something to get some stops on the defensive end. Which the thing about Pikeville, and I have no expertise in basketball. I feel like I have to preface everything I say with that, but they've been good in transition. They're good from behind the arc. They're good in the half court. They slow it down. They're good. There's just a lot of different ways they can beat you. And the Lions are going to have to pull out all the stops here in this defensive possession to see if we can get a stop. You don't want to see L.A. Walker on the ball. He's been the guy that we really haven't had an answer for. We've done a little bit better job on Bunch in the second half. Slowed down some of the perimeter shooting, but they've Walker's had his way with the Lions defense all night, so you got to think Coach Compton looks to get him on the ball.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is I mean, you could go to Walker. I would guess based on the hierarchy on the team, just from what I see from a guy that's been there a few years, I would guess that this ball probably goes to Bunch in some sort of post capacity. Coaches will kind of revert back to what they know at their core. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Bunch get the ball whatsoever. And kind of an interesting lineup. They're running Best here. I guess not my favorite call, as he's kind of just been a shooter today. As Pikeville having some trouble, they get it to Warwick. Baher goes to trap. Man, Warwick is just fast.
Well, I said, the fact that we're talking through multiple options they have shows you the depth that they have and ability to score the basketball. Warwick's is a one-man press break with his ability to just explode with the ball in his hand.
They get it to Ridgeton. 6 on the shot clock. Over to Best. Tyler Best. No good. The game is still in play for the Lions, but they got to go. 8-point deficit. Cole Torres around the DA screen. And top of the key, Regal Moore. Moore going to use the screen. Takes the contact. No good. There's Baher underneath. The up fake and in for Josh Baher. Brings the lead to within 6. I think there's a timeout being called here by Coach Rakowski, as they've got 2 left. I think he wants to set something different up, because Pikeville's already gotten a look at that first press. I think he's going to try to employ some different kind of strategy here as they sit. Jordan and I are probably going to take our last break of the evening and be right back here on Bryan Lions Live. And welcome back for what could be the final time. 1:24 on the clock. Lions have fought and clawed and scratched and done everything they can to keep this game close. They're sitting within striking distance, 6-point ball game here. And Pikeville trying desperately not to drop one on the road here. Jordan, this would be a massive win for Coach Rakowski and the Lions, grabbing this one, because playing at Pikeville is no easy feat. It's just about one of the hardest places to play in the conference. So to grab this one at home to start your year, starting off 2-0 over a rival, and then the preseason #1 would be...
That would be huge.
Yeah.
It would be huge. And in the fashion it would have to come in, being such a big deficit early and coming from behind, you got to think it would be able to surge the Lions. Just confidence and everything as Moore's going to foul Warwick's there.
Yeah, you got to start fouling down 2 full possessions here. And I believe they had 1 to give. They'll have to foul one more time to get them in the bonus.
Just a quick glance at the stats. Warwick's 75% free throw shooter. Ridgeton 86%. So you got to think, it's early in the year. He's 6 of 7, but you got to think he's on the floor because he can knock down those free throws.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think I'm guessing that's why Looney isn't on the floor right now. Their big man that started the game for him. And Warwick is being chased by 2 Bryan defenders. Torres trying to foul. Baher does. And there it is, right on schedule. Ridgeton will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1, because the 1-and-1 is dead everywhere in college except for right here. So... the women's don't do... Does Division I... trying to think, because high school's done with the 1-and-1.
I was going to say, I'm absolutely no help.
Yeah.
I know nothing about college basketball at all except Cooper Flagg. That's all I know.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing to know.
He's fun. That's all I know. That usually start checking in as he cashes the first one. I check in the Christmas, kind of the Christmas season. You're at home,
nothing else
not
going
as much
on
in the office. Yeah, I'll watch a little basketball then, and then just kind of key in. And then obviously in March, everybody's watching.
Right.
But he's going to knock down both, and he looks like the go-to guy for the Bears.
They put Looney back in to defend Baher. That's a wise move. Torres is going to have to create something. Step-back jumper, mid-range. He got it.
I was going to say absolutely low percentage shot, but Torres doesn't seem to care, and that was, at this point, they're all must-makes for the Lions. Gets it back within 6. You wish that would have been a couple feet deeper there.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the hardest shots in basketball.
Yeah. The long mid-range.
On the baseline.
I know you got to see me play limited, Jordan, but sadly that is something I'm quite good at right there, is a long mid-range pull-up.
They phased you out. You know, if you'd have, maybe you're a little more my age, you'd have been really, really good before the emergence of the three-point shot and the analytical surge that you see really in every sport, but especially that the NBA is, you know, probably the NBA and Major League Baseball, the top two when it comes to the forefront of analytics, and it's just killed the mid-range game. You know, and I grew up watching a lot of the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq and dominate at the rim, and now you really don't see that. You see the emergence of a lot of these guys, these stretch post players, guys that can do a little bit of both, shoot from behind the arc, a little more finesse game, I guess, and even though the athleticism of across the board is better, you see a lot more of the finesse type shooting. So maybe you were just a little bit after your time, Drew.
Well, as you see the foul committed by Gales.
Walker, 75% free throw shooter. He's 18 of 24, so a little bit more of a sample size over Ridgeton, but seems to be with the weapons they have, they probably got 2-3 guys they really like.
Yeah.
And this is a situation they've been in, being 5-0 with the 1-0 in the league, the history that they've had in basketball. You know, they're in this position a lot where they're trying to, you know, ice out ball games from the free throw line. And we're going to get a cash there from Walker, and he's going to extend his lead probably as the leading scorer for today's contest.
Yeah.
I'll get a check there and as soon as this refreshes.
Let's see.
Yeah, he's 25 to Josh's 26 now.
Walker cans the pair of free throws. Baher attacks. Dalen Gale's going to have to just chuck up a three. No good, and with that, probably the hopes of the Lions go down as well. As, I mean, and if they extend this ball game to 10 points, you got to think that we're in miracle on ice territory for a win for the Lions. As you see right beside us, quite a few fans kind of funneling out, some students sensing that this one might be headed not in our favor. And Walker makes the first, pushes it to a 9-point ball game, 90-81. Been a while since I've seen a team in this conference drop 90. That's a high mark. You have to go all the way back to last year. As the pair of free throws from Walker is good, 91-81. Bryan's got to go, and they've got to make everything from here on out more. They'll take that.
Yeah, they'll let you have it, absolutely.
Now you need a steal.
Yeah, they're going to cancel those out with the way they've been shooting free throws. Going to get a foul there on Cutlip.
Gales was real close there to taking that one away, and my mom is not a basketball fan, and this is her least favorite time in any basketball game. The end that takes like 10 minutes, and when you tell her there's a minute left, she says, "Well, that means that
it doesn't mean anything."
That means that'd be 15 minutes from now.
Yeah, the clock's lying to me. It's what I've loved about doing the soccer broadcast this fall is, it's pretty easy to know when you're going to be home.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get the 45 minutes, the 15 at half, and go another 45, and with no stoppage time, and in regular season no extra time. It's you pretty much know you're in and out inside of 2 hours. But as they're gonna
we got
another two,
Eventually, I mean, I guess we're rushing to the meet and say that eventually they are going to miss a free throw, so you might gain a point there, here or there. Eventually, I mean, Bryan, they're doing a really nice job. They've scored twice in under 10 seconds.
Yeah, so they're scoring quick. That's the silver lining to the fact it's only a 2-point bucket, is that it is a quick bucket.
But eventually they're going to have to take some from behind that arc. As there it is.
There we go, right on cue.
Yeah.
Need a couple more of those.
Yep.
And more than that, we need some 3-point buckets on the other end. Got to think Torres is going to get a chance to shoot one. It's kind of surprised we hadn't seen Ian. It's just been such a historically good shooter for the Lions.
44 left. Regal Moore up the floor once again. This is going to have to be quick. Somebody's going to have to shoot it from beyond the arc. There it is. Dalen Gale sets his feet. NAIA logo. That one well off. Ball kept alive, but
good job to
not
punch
anymore.
It out, but nobody there to get it.
Cutler got blocked by Torres on the way up as he went for the dunk. 11-point ball game. Kalir DA with it now. Josh Baher from deep. His third triple is good. Why not?
Who knew we should have been getting the rock to Josh out, and we got to. No, I thought we got to travel. And Coach Muncie is absolutely as fired up as I've ever seen him. He also just PR'd on his vertical off the bench to sit. I mean, we got to get that clip. We got to get that clip.
The camera, I really hope the camera caught that.
If it didn't get that, I'm going to be really upset. We're going to have to call tech support on Monday because he was a full squat to I'm going to say, easily over 36-inch vertical there by Coach Muncie off the bench.
I didn't know he had that in him.
He hasn't been that mad since we argued what the best Thanksgiving side dish was on a couple days ago in the office. Still salty about that one as well, but that's one of those things the Lions absolutely had to have. Call goes against us, but you know that's what you do when you get that lead. Pikeville, you get where everybody has to do everything correct and everything has to go your way, and that's a spot you don't want to be in as a coaching staff. And I don't know that that's a knock on how the Lions have played. I really think we've played pretty well against a team that is probably going to run some people out of the gym in conference play this year, but to stay within distance the entire time, and if you're able to nick one of these games from a team like Pikeville, that's something that nobody in the league's going to do. Yeah, and you got to think they're going to beat a lot of people, and so it's really worth more than the win if you were able to get something like that. And like you said, never been to Pikeville, but the way it is on the road there doesn't look like that's going to happen very often. So if you don't get them, on your home floor, you're probably not going to get them. This team looks like a team that could absolutely make noise in the national tournament this year.
I think you're right about that. They have got a squad through and through. One more inbound of the ball should do it. They go long. Regal Moore, oh no. Hopefully everybody's okay as Regal tripped into Ridgeton, causing him to kind of fall on his leg awkwardly there. I think they're both okay. All things considered for the Lions, almost no time off the clock there on that inbound. So
yeah, a little bit of an awkward fall, man. You kind of grimace up here as you see it. Anytime that you're landing on one leg there, you're worried about potential for knee injury, things like that. And glad to see everybody get up okay, especially at this point in the game. You'd hate to see anybody go down regardless of what's on the clock, but kind of when this game's a little bit, you could say, in the bag for Pikeville, you'd hate to see a guy like Ridgeton go down, as he's had a heck of a cameo for himself off the bench as a freshman. Looks like he's going to be a guy, I think, next time we play him may have a chance to have a little more of an impact for him, but nonetheless, in the limited minutes, has done a great job. And we spoke about him being 86% from the free throw mark. He's up over 90 with the 4 makes, as we're going to see.
Somebody's got to shoot the ball. Trey Morrow from way outside, way short. And that will be it. 98-88, the University of Pikeville Bears come in to Summers and take down your Bryan College Lions. A sweep for the Bears and the Lady Bears. Got to feel good as an athletic department in that. Jordan, I have got a function to attend tonight, so I've actually got to go. Thanks for hopping on with me, buddy. And
absolutely. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. For myself, Chase Green, Camille Holly, Jordan Day, Jeremy Dill, and all the coaches that go into making Bryan Athletics what it is, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Bryan Lions Live.